Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a collab with Shasha Studios. And in this collab we're going to be swapping OCs, and I'm going to be drawing Ayla, her OC, and she's going to be drawing my OC Feral. Don't know much about Ayla's backstory, but I do know that she lives in a rainforest, which I actually think is pretty cool. So I was originally going to do Ayla's drawing on like digital art. Like I was going to do it on my computer, but then I decided I was just going to do it like traditional art. I actually had to redraw this because her hands weren't turning out, and then I went to outline them and they got super big. Like her fingers were like super big, and I already outlined them at that time, so then I was like, I really can't fix it. But then I was like, I'll just redraw it because it really wasn't looking good, so I've redrawn this drawing like 2 times. This is the reference for Ayla, Shasha Studios OC, and she did tell me that she had gray pants on, but it didn't show it in the reference, so I kind of had to like guess. But I wanted to give her some type of leggings because she does live in the rainforest, so I was going to give her sweatpants at first, but then I figured if you live in the rainforest, you're probably not wearing sweatpants. So then I was like, I'll just give her some like gray leggings. If it seems like I'm slowly like outlining it, like if it seems like it's slower than usual, it's because I was like doing it so slow in real time, and when I sped it up, I was still like just not even going that fast because I really didn't want to mess it up. So when doing the circle background behind characters, I usually just stick to a solid color, but then when I heard that she lived in like a forest or a rainforest, I was like, oh, I could just put like a little forest scene behind her. I almost thought of putting like a little belt on her and putting like a little dagger in it and then like a little satchel, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't really add it. But I do think that would actually look really good on her, but I'm not sure if that's like goes with her character design, so I didn't want to stray too far from like her character. I'd have to say my favorite part of doing this drawing was probably the coloring process, because the outlining, not my favorite, since I did mess up on it once already and have to redo the drawing because of it. So I'd have to say my favorite part was probably like the coloring and then the shading. So when sketching this drawing out of Ayla, I was like, I put her eyebrows like into her hair, but then I didn't realize that her hair was black and then the eyebrows were black. So then at first I was thinking that the eyebrows would look like she didn't have any, but then at the end I don't think it looked bad with like her eyebrows not appearing. But if you like move the drawing a little bit, you can still see that she has eyebrows, but you just have to like look at it. The eyeliner wasn't that bad on this one because I got a thicker liner, because at first I wanted to do this really thin liner so I could be focusing on the coloring and not so much the black outliner. But then I realized I should probably just do my same outliner that I'm comfortable with. So I didn't want it to just be an overhead view, so I thought I'd add different angles to make it more interesting, because I'm not a big fan of just having it like on top of the page all the time. So I was like, why don't I tilt it and just make it look a little bit more interesting? So I hope you guys like these new angles, because I was trying to just like mix it up and stuff. So I don't have the correct color for her skin tone, but I did try to get as close as I could, because I swatched like so many different colors just trying to find the correct color, and it does turn out a little darker than intended, but I still do think it kind of turned out well, but I do wish it was a little bit lighter. I can't wait to see more of Ayla's backstory because her character design is super cool. If you guys have not already, don't forget to go subscribe to Shasha Studios. I will link her channel down in the description because she actually posts a lot of cool videos, and she actually is really good at digital art. So I used Copic markers for half of the drawing, and then I used ohuhu for the other half, because on her red shirt, the ohuhu markers were blending in like, not blending, they were like, I have more red colors in the ohuhu markers and I only have like 2 really deep reds. So I was like swapping between all those different colors. So I know I did miss posting last week, that's because I was getting ready to post this video this week, but I actually have a lot of videos coming this February, and I'm going to be doing a Q&A and 6 characters that I'll remind you guys of. So those are just 2 of the videos that are coming up this February, but I'm planning on doing a bunch of OC content, like I've introduced a new OC in my recent shorts named Beatrice, and I'm going to do a video on her and Feral. So this is where I'm doing Ayla's hair. I didn't want to go straight in with black, so I decided to do a dark cool gray, which it does look like black, but then I go in later with the black marker. So I was trying to just put some like white highlights, because in black hair you really can't see the highlights. So I was like, I'll just leave like the sections out. So the black kind of looked like the gray later on because I used too dark of a gray. So then I was trying to use my black outliner to like use some more volume, and like I did a few loose strands of hair to give it more volume because I wanted to seem like her hair was more flowy and not like super stiff. This is where I was switching between copics and ohuhus because I had a really dark gray of ohuhus, and then I went back for the black with the copics. White spots later on, I went over them with the gray just to like blend them in a little more because I didn't want them to stand out super much, but I wanted them to still be like a highlight. So later on, all those white spots that you see, I filled them in with like a lighter gray. On camera, this gray looks a lot darker than it is, but like in real life, it's actually not that dark. But then when I tried to put the black over top of it, it got so right there when I was trying to put the black in the corners, it like for some reason got super dark. So if you do happen to hear a weird buzzing sound when I'm doing my voiceovers, it's because I was getting a bunch of text and while I was trying to do my voiceovers, but I think it might have just been in 2 voiceovers at the end, so hopefully no more buzzing will be going on. So here's where I started with the copic markers for the red shirt, but then I realized right as I was finishing up her shirt that it was too light. Like her shirt's like a darker red, and this shirt like right here where I'm coloring is like a super light red. So after I filled in this page, I went back over it with the ohuhu markers in like a darker shade of red. I had a lot of fun drawing Ayla, and her color scheme is really pretty to work with also. And then here's where I am darkening the red because it was too light. And like the colors really do go well with Ayla. As you can see here on Ayla's hair, I added a few flowy bits. I did it off camera though, but I wanted to like put a bunch of little flowy bits in her hair so it looked like it was more like hair and not like super stiff. Now that I've drawn Ayla, I think her character is so cool, and I like have so many questions like what's her last name, and does she live in a village in the forest, or like does she just live there by herself, and like does she have any family, or I have so many questions now. Here's where I started to blend out her shirt so it could not look like super harsh shadows. I wanted them more like softer shadows and not super harsh. And if you guys have not already, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell for future videos. And don't forget to go subscribe to Shasha Cat Studios so you never miss a video from her, and you can see her part of the collab too. Here's the shout out emoji for this video, and here are the shout outs. Thank you, Shasha, for doing this collab with me. I've had a lot of fun actually drawing your character because she's actually really interesting, and all of her designing. And so I decided I didn't want to go too dark of a gray on her pants, but then when I did a few layers of the markers, it did get kind of dark. But then I decided just to put the shadows on, but then I would like blend out the shadows to where the pants were not too dark. But then I think the pants actually did turn out really well in the end. I did use ohuhus to blend this out because I had a lot more grays of ohuhus, so I decided to just blend them out with that. And then here I decided to do the forest background with more ohuhus because I wanted to get like, I had this ohuhu brown, so I decided to use it. And then I was just trying to fill in the trees, but I didn't want them to get too dark, and I didn't want them to be like too streaky either, so I tried to find a good like mid-tone for the brown. And then in the end I just left like the green just one color because I didn't want to like try to blend out the green and it not work. So I was just like, I left the green just one color. I did decide to do the green a darker green because even though it doesn't look like a jungle trees, I still wanted it to like, because I think when I think of like the jungle, I think of dark green. So I was like, if Ayla's from the jungle, I'll just incorporate the dark green to make it kind of look like, maybe not a jungle, but sort of like an overgrown forest. I hope you liked how Ayla turned out, Shasha, and thank you guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And don't forget to subscribe to Shasha so you never miss her videos, and you can see the second part of the collab.